What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvettes at Carlisle 2026. We're here again live, and today, well, this segment of today, we're going to be actually walking through some vendors and slash sponsors of the channel here, because there's a lot of really awesome vendors here at Corvettes at Carlisle every year. We're going to touch on some of them for you. So obviously what we're going to do is walk through some of these vendors, and like I said, there's always a ton here, but the ones that really are special and near and dear to my heart, we're going to go mobile, and we're going to go talk to some of these guys, because for those of you who can't be here, this is the next best way of enjoying Corvettes at Carlisle, because a lot of the vendors are why people come to Corvettes at Carlisle. So let's go ahead and go mobile, and we're going to go talk to some of these guys and see what they can offer for you. So let's head over to one of the best. And that is, of course, going to be Racing Sport Concepts. Bill with RSC. He's always a character. But obviously, if you guys haven't seen my car, I have the Seawolf Gray car with a bunch of carbon fiber on it. And look who we have here. Fancy.
How's it going?
This is Bill, RSC, Racing Sport Concepts. The cars, you can see, they're beautiful. The carbon fiber is fantastic, Bill. Tell us a little bit about RSC.
So we specialize in carbon fiber for the C8 platform, ranging from the Stingray to the ZR1. We're here kind of showcasing our new hood, the ZR 1.1 hood, and our new wing, the ZR 1.2 wing, as well as our Z07 conversion kits, which we have here as well. And we specialize in pre-impregnated carbon fiber. So you'll see our weave is really nice and tight and consistent. I think that's one of the things that kind of brought you over to the brand a couple of years ago. And yeah, we're just trying to make really, really clean OEM plus parts that, you know, showcase all that is already great about the C8 platform, but gives you the ability to differentiate your car or customize it and kind of give it its own look.
So I was actually talking a little bit about it to a subscriber of mine earlier today, and I said, I think the best way to describe your carbon fiber is OEM plus, because it fits like OEM. It looks, some of it similar to OEM, but obviously the big one is it's not on constraint. And he takes it, and he never just makes a replica of something. It's always got the RSC spin on it. And I mean, we'll show all this on camera, of course, but the splitters, the wings, the new ZR 1.1 hood, absolutely works of art. So obviously, me and Bill have been doing business together for what, a couple of years now, right? Yep. And I had all of his parts on my black Z06, and when I got the new Seawolf Gray Z06, I said, what do I do with this one? It's different than the last one. And he said, I got some ideas. So Bill, tell us a little bit about why your carbon's different. I think you kind of touched on it a little bit already, but.
So, you know, we like to, again, pay homage to, you know, the Corvette. We work with a lot of people, past and present, who've, you know, done work for GM or work at GM, and we really have a great respect for them and all that they do and all that they've brought to the car. My personal opinion is that the C8 is the best Corvette that's ever been made. I think that's partially because I like rear-wheel drive and it's mid-engine, but to me, you know, our job is to keep the C8 platform fresh and new. And, you know, because we're not at such a big corporation, we don't have the same limitations that you have, you know, placed upon a lot of the great, really talented engineers and designers at GM. It's not that, you know, we're better or we're anything, you know, super special compared to them. We just don't have so many restrictions. So what we're allowed to do is take ideas from customers like you and customers like these guys, and we can go and we can implement them into the car and just create something that's a little different, a little unique. For example, there's a lot of companies that have tried to copy the ZR1 hood. We wanted to come up with something that, you know, that replicated just the awesomeness that hood has, but had a little bit of a different twist to it. So it's not just like we're out here just copying GM's work. So we came up with this louver idea to allow you to use your stock frunk without seeing just the B side of the bottom of the hood. And it also allows the hood to be both a functional hood, if you want that, with a full pass-through from the radiator, or like on your car, because you need the frunk to travel and stuff like that, You can also shut it down, but it still has that OEM look. It doesn't look fake. It doesn't look like a fake vent or a fake mesh. Our GTZ splitter, the goal was to come up with something that was different than what the factory car has, because we all kind of have the same splitters, but we also wanted it to look OEM, and that's actually how I met the design manager for the C8. Was asking him to give me a design review at the Daytona 24-hour race of my splitter, and so then after he retired, he and I kind of started working together, and that's kind of how we got the hood and the wing put together.
Nice. So obviously Bill was very in touch with the C8 community, the C8 car in general, but are you able to pop that hood?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at what Bill was talking about here with the hoods. Let's start. Yeah, we're gonna look at mine first here, I think, because the carbon fiber look, obviously totally carbon fiber all the way through and through. I chose not to paint mine because I honestly felt like it was kind of like sacrilege if I were to cover up all that beautiful carbon fiber. So basically what we're looking at here is the ZR1.1 hood, and then underneath is finished as well. So this is all beautiful carbon fiber. So I like to kind of go either way with this. You pop the hood at car shows, or I leave it closed, because honestly it's beautiful either way. It's finished on the top and bottom, and you can see under here where this panel is removable. Because this comes out, it can be functional. So either you choose to have a frunk like I do, or you remove that panel, and then we'll step over to Bill's car here.
One more thing we might want to highlight is the drain. So the hood is designed, if you do have the hood and you're still using your frunk, a lot of these hoods, what will end up happening is water starts pooling here. And that happened a lot on the Huracans. We do a lot of Lamborghini stuff too, and I always thought that was subpar. And so this hood is designed so that even if it's in a downpour, the water will all funnel in the hood down and out these drains, and then out the holes that were already put here to drain the water from the stock one.
Perfect. But if you want the hood to also be functional, that's the beautiful part about the RSC hood, is that it can be functional, or you can keep your frunk. So you can do it both ways. Let's look at Bill's car here because he has it set up to be functional. So as of right now, there's the pass-through, and the bottom part there is removed. So Bill,
the best angle to probably capture it is from this back corner looking down underneath the hood, just so you can see the radiator in here, show the airflow. So you can see here that the panel that you have has been removed. We've got our duct and our carbon fiber frunk tub. So this whole tub is a new piece. It's 100% carbon fiber. It's obviously lighter. We retain the battery charging function. We have a little carbon fiber cover that goes on top of it that can be removed. And then obviously you've got the air duct. And this air duct can be removed, and there's a closeout panel for the front. So you can run this as a functional hood in the summer if you're doing a bunch of track events, or you want it for car shows. But let's say you want to close it down in the winter, you can pull the duct out, you can close the front panel off, you can close this panel off, and now you've got your frunk access, again, to store things in a cooler area, because obviously we all know how the back gets.
Well, the front doesn't get a lot cooler, but either way, I find myself using the frunk more than the trunk, to be honest. So,
Me too.
We have any questions coming in?
So we got one question from Anthony Jorge for Bill. And he would like to know, Bill, have you updated your payment options yet to take organs?
Yes.
So the question was,
we are starting to take organs starting on Monday. Okay.
So one of the questions that just came in was, does Bill accept organs for payments? And Bill,
Children, organs, you name it.
firstborns,
Yeah,
he doesn't draw any lines. So great question, by the way. Great question. So let's take a look at the wing real quick, and then we're going to move on to the next vendor, because there's a couple here.
Step over here. I guess you're worry about the sun. We've got, let's see, we got 4 different wings here. This wing is our newest wing. I think this is the best wing for the Z06 E-Ray Grand Sport platform, in my opinion. It makes a little bit more downforce than the Z07 wing. This is something that we worked on with Kirk Benyon, and the idea was to try to create the next Z07 wing. The Z07 was designed years ago, and we wanted to create something that, had some of that ZR1 look to it, but it didn't have the drag penalty that a ZTK wing puts on a car. Obviously, if you've got 1,100 horsepower, it's not as big of a deal. But on the NA cars, I think at most tracks, you really don't want that much downforce. And so this kind of gives you the Goldilocks solution that's in the middle. We've had a lot of feedback from customers that it's a better size for them from the standpoint of getting stuff in the trunk, getting out of the trunk, rear visibility and things like that, because obviously these cars don't have the backup cameras in the license plate area like on a ZTK model. Right. It's really strong. We built this with an internal spar to try to make it stiffer. And I think it's a really nice piece. It looks really OEM. The people that designed this are some of the best digital sculptors in the industry, and that includes the manufacturers as well. And it's something that we're really proud of, and I'm really happy to see so many of them here already. I think we had a red car here, we've got a white one down there, and then we've got this car. It's really starting to catch on, and I think it kind of represents the brand and what we're trying to do.
I agree. So basically the ZR1 wing was something I've been chasing for quite some time, and of course Bill was one of the first ZR1 wings I was looking at. The one that's on my car is slightly different than this one, and they're both fantastic wings. They both get the job done, so to speak. But I know this question's going to come up, so if you want to punch in a little bit harder here, someone's going to ask me how stiff this wing is. I cannot move it. Literally can't be moved. And Bill touched on the downforce a little bit. This one's the one you want if you want downforce on the track.
We actually, we collaborated on this with some really top engineers, and I know it may sound a little bit cliche, but one of them was the head of Aero for a Formula One team. We had multiple ex-GM guys that had worked on the Aero at P&M and at GM, and I think this is really about as close to an OEM plus best-in-class product that you can make. We're really proud of it, and we're happy that it's had a good reception.
Absolutely. All right, so Bill, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Justin.
Obviously, guys, you want carbon fiber, come to Racing Sport Concepts. They're going to be able to help you out, of course, the best way. My car is completely loaded with Racing Sport Concepts carbon fiber. Yours should be too. But next, we're going to move on to the next vendor here, and it's going to be Forge Light. You guys know, again, I have Forge Light wheels on my car. I absolutely love them, and you'll love them too. So we're going to go ahead and talk to Josh over here a little bit. It looks like he might be with a customer, but we'll look at his wheels while we're waiting for him to get freed up. So right off the bat, we got a bunch of wheels sitting out front here, and one of the really interesting things is that magnesium wheel that is not coated. So we're going to talk all about that because really an interesting story there. But the big thing to look at with this wheel right here is the center cap. I love the center caps. They're literally, I think, 4-piece design, real carbon fiber in the back if you want forged, or the normal like 3x3 twill. And then the cap itself is aluminum, and you can take all this out for the actual racetrack. So if you don't want any pressure building up behind your wheel, you can pop those out. So we got Josh back here. I'm going to pop into his booth here in a second, and we're going to talk to him about what makes his wheel special. So let's step behind here. Obviously, we're going to be behind the wheel, so to speak. So, Josh, talk to us a little bit about what made you start Forge Light, and what makes you different.
Yeah, so we wanted to be at a delivering quality product at a price point that's not at like HRE or Boston, where it's like $12,000, $14,000 with their wait times as well. And sometimes they're just so busy, you're waiting a year to get a wheel. So we really felt there was a need in the market for it. So bridging that gap between like just a cheap like $1,000, $2,000 wheel, we wanted to deliver the quality of these high-end wheels without so much breaking the bank. Sure. So, yeah.
All right, so again, guys, I have Forge Light wheels on my Z06. I had a similar set on my previous Z06, and I have a different set now on my ZR1. There's a reason why I keep coming back to them, and it's because the quality of their wheels is absolutely insane. And he touched on the whole HRE aspect, and it was funny because when I first opened the box of the very first set that I got from them, I initially got HRE quality feel from it, which was weird because it's not HRE prices. So right off the bat, I was very impressed with what I was opening. And I mean, you can see at their booth here, the wheels that they have, they're insane. And there's a bunch of cars that are sitting around the booth that we'll touch on in a second that have really high quality wheels as well. All Forged Light, of course, but all kinds of different styles. You could get 1-piece, 2-piece. I think you even offer 3-piece wheels,
so
right?
This would be 3-piece over here, where you have the different front and rear barrel, and so.
And they spin.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. All right, so that's a selling point too.
Yeah. And then, I think Justin already talked about the quality control sticker that we have here.
Yeah.
So, a lot of wheel brands say they make quality wheels, but we objectively put it on the wheel. We have it in the run-out value, which is measuring how round a wheel is. And that's like one objective thing you cannot deny. There's no I like that design better, this design better. This is just mathematically, this is a rounder wheel. That way you get less vibrations at top speeds, and you have to use less wheel weight than you would.
So again, interesting that he touched on that, because one of the very first things I noticed putting these wheels on my black C8 Z06 initially was that I always road force balance my wheels to prevent any kind of crazy vibrations. Whenever I got them back from road force balance, I was looking inside. I had like one wheel weight, just one little tiny wheel weight, and a lot of my wheels I have like just wheel weights all over the place. And so after I did the video talking about the runouts here, I was looking at all these numbers. I said, this has to be why these things are only taking one tiny little wheel weight. These things are almost perfectly balanced as is. So with the exception of this one, you could probably put these on with no wheel weights and not really have a problem. But this one, I'd be very curious to see how this one drove.
Yeah. So this one's just a sample just to show how the manufacturing goes. But you'd need a couple boat anchors to balance that one for sure.
Yeah, that one's definitely heavy. So talk to us about this one. This one was really interesting. This is a raw magnesium, right? Well, pretty much.
Yeah, so this is one of our first few raw magnesium wheels we made. So this was tested on a Porsche 911 Carrera T out in Florida. So we wanted to just stress test it as well, because we do a lot of the computer testing as well, the FEA, but we wanted to see how it will do in the real world and see where the stress points are. So we tested it. We had it go over like really harsh curves. Pretty much the suspension was bottoming out, so it's like you're hitting a pothole like at high speed. And then from there we found there are areas where it would crack. So you see a failure point here. And for our actual production version, we kind of toughened it up, and we also did a pro version, which is not on our website. It's mostly for race teams and people that are serious about racing, where this hollow area is filled out just to make it a bit more durable. So there's always a trade-off between weight, durability. Sure. So you kind of have just to play within that matrix.
So one thing I thought was interesting about this wheel is, number one, it is magnesium. Mm-hmm. And everybody out there has this thought of what magnesium needs in order to not be a problem. And the very first thing is, everybody always says, oh, you need to coat those things. They need to be coated. You can't leave the magnesium. It'll start basically degrading the second it hits oxygen. Yeah. This has not been coated. And how old is this wheel?
This is 2.5 to 3 years now. So, yeah.
3 years old, and it's still here. So this is, obviously they do get coated. You guys put a special coating. Correct, and then the powder coat.
The powder coat, yeah. So that's another step that we do that a lot of the other companies don't do, is we do micro arc oxidation, so MAO. So that's a coating that goes before powder coat. It prevents oxidation and also helps the powder coat stick better. Another part of it is a lot of other magnesium manufacturers, they use liquid paint. It's a lot easier. But with the MAO coating and the powder coat, it's as durable as it gets, really. And then if you're really tracking heavily, we still recommend you ceramic coat the wheels just to make cleaning a lot easier and prevent little rock chips if you do go on track. It's that's the reason why we're more expensive probably than other magnesium options. So. Yeah.
Well, if you guys like the idea of a magnesium option, you can actually contact Forged Light. If you mention HPO, you're going to save a ton of money. So even though maybe they're in line with other magnesiums, but once you mention HPO, you're going to be under.
Yeah, you're saving $2,000, I think, when you mention HPO. So
$2,000. That's a set of wheels right there, and you're going to save that. So
exactly.
I think that's going to be pretty much it. Forged Light, huge thank you to Forged Light. Yeah. They're constantly making some crazy wheels. What do you got for me, Ken?
Anthony would like to know if the 2- and 3-piece wheels are magnesium.
All right, so let me read that question back. Can you get magnesium basically in 2- and 3-piece?
Can you get the 2- and 3-piece wheels in magnesium?
Can you get the 2- and 3-piece wheels in magnesium?
Technically, yes. So we can make the center out of magnesium, but 2 and 3 piece wheel are inherently heavier just based on the design. So we don't offer it as standard because it's kind of like contradicting each other. But if someone's really wanting it, we could do it for them. Like, we do a lot of custom projects that are not shown on our website. Sometimes people have like really old resto mods, or someone wants to do something crazy. We'll accommodate that. But yeah, we can do it. It won't be as light as just a monoblock magnesium. So as long as the customer wants that and knows that, we can make it for him.
Perfect. We got any other questions? That's all. Okay. Well, thank you, Forge Light.
Thanks, Justin.
Obviously, they're going to be all over my channel because they're all over my car. So from here, we're going to make our way down to NCM Insurance. You guys know they're a big sponsor of the channel as well. Let's go see how you can save some money on insurance. So again, this car has Forge Light wheels on it as well, but we're going to head down to talk to Adam Boca. If you guys haven't seen the amount of money you can save with NCM Insurance yet, you definitely should check out the link in the bottom of this video. It's actually going to take you to NCM, where you can then click on Get a Quote, and if you enter HPO 26 in the field that says, how did you hear about us, they're going to know exactly why you're there and exactly what you want, which is to save money on your car insurance. So we're almost there. But again, today is also Adam Boca's birthday. So wish him happy birthday in the comment section. He's a really awesome dude, very, very car focused. And we're about to get him, looks like, right at lunchtime, so that's great. Adam, we're going to make sure that you are not going to enjoy your lunch today. So, guys, this is Adam from NCM Insurance. This is the guy, actually, any of these guys are the guys you want to talk to whenever you come here. But, Adam, tell us a little bit about NCM Insurance.
Yeah, so first and foremost, we're owned, operated, and located inside the National Corvette Museum. So we're truly supporting the hobby, supporting, you know, your all's lifestyle. And what we do is we do collector car insurance. So not just Corvette insurance, but collector cars. So any year collector car we can cover. So whether it's a 1912 Model A all the way up to a brand new Corvette ZR1X, we can insure it. The biggest benefit with our program is we lock in the value. So that car, if you totaled it, you had $100,000 in value on it, we promised we would pay you $100,000. So it's a huge peace of mind, a great benefit to you as the customer to know exactly what you're going to get. And if you do total it, you can go out and buy another car because of that agreed value promise that we make to you. But then you have multiple cars. The coolest thing is you pay the liability on the policy level, and then every car is covered underneath it. You only pay that one time, which is a huge benefit as well.
So it's always awesome whenever I come over here and talk to Adam. I've obviously I've known of NCM Insurance for years now, and yet that is the first time, that piece of information, that's the first time I've ever heard that. So this is why we do these things.
Absolutely.
We're making sure you guys know how to get the best possible price on your insurance. Of course, again, click on that link below. Let them know Horsepower Obsessed sent you, and they're going to take care of you. So again, he said the agreed upon value is something that is going to help you out if you ever do wreck or total your car, and that you guys factor in mods to those.
That's exactly right. Yeah, your viewers, your listeners, you know, they like to modify their cars, and so we can account for that in the value piece as well. If it's twin turbo like your car, you know, we can account for that. And if something was to happen, and you know, you were to have an issue with a wreck and something happened to one of the turbos, we'd help to, you know, replace it. Or if the car was totaled, you're going to get your full investment back out of the car.
So my car is not twin turboed yet. Not yet.
My bad.
I was going to say, luckily I already talked to you guys about it. Otherwise, he would have just spilled the beans. But yeah, so if something were to happen like that, he'll replace the turbo. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome stuff. What else can you tell us? What other than you guys being awesome, what makes you different?
Yeah, no, we're awesome. We're different. But no, we're part of the hobby too. So we live it. We it's what our lives are. And we have a great team of 16 people back in Bowling Green that are ready to assist, ready to answer questions, and available anytime you call the office. We're here for you.
So, like I said, guys, today is Adam's birthday. So wish him a happy birthday.
Thank you.
He just turned 25.
Right.
Looks incredible. Thanks for the time, Adam. I appreciate it, as always. Any questions for us, Ken? Nope, no questions.
Thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, so I think we have a little bit of extra time. We're going to stop by the AWE booth. You guys, I know how much you always love exhausts, especially on the Z06. we're going to stop by AWE and talk real quickly to, I think it's going to be MJ, and he's going to tell us what makes AWE so awesome. So it's a little bit of a walk. So while we're walking down there, we're going to walk past a couple subscribers, and we're gonna wave to them. But maybe if we walk past a really interesting person, maybe we'll grab them on camera. But there's a lot of stuff we're going to be doing with the live here, guys. So make sure you are tuning into this. We're going to be doing 3 videos a day from Carlisle. So walk-arounds, vendors, and even some subscriber rides, which will come later. But for now, we're almost there. AWE exhaust. You can probably hear some exhaust in the background. That's what Carlisle is all about. You're going to hear products. You're going to see products. You're going to get all this stuff. So I see MJ. He's on the phone. We're going to have to make him hang up. So there's Dan. Dan, wave to the camera, Dan. That's 10 seconds Z06 right there. He's right beside MJ's walking away. We might have to get somebody else. AWE guys, who wants to be on camera? I know, I saw him just walk away. It's not great timing. Zippity, what's up, man? So another subscriber. We'll talk to him for a second while we're waiting for MJ. Again, Carlisle and exhausts. You're not going to hear much else. So good. Let's step under here. It's a little hot out there. How you been?
Good. Yourself?
Good.
Excellent. You're looking great.
Thank you.
Love it. You enjoying yourself here this weekend so far?
Absolutely. Who can't love Carlisle?
Oh, it's beautiful out. No rain. So everybody said, "Oh, it's going to rain." No rain.
It thundered a good bit earlier, but yeah.
It also sounds like an exhaust system. So
that's true. I wouldn't know the difference, but seriously, it was thunder.
Don't tell anybody.
Anyway, hopefully MJ is coming back here in a second. While we're waiting for him, maybe let's take a look at these exhaust pieces back here real quick. I apologize that the camera guy has to keep putting these things down and picking it back up. But, yeah, we got right here, obviously, this is the Stingray exhaust. This is actually it's half. Touring Edition, which you could see the resonator right there. They don't like to call these mufflers, right?
No, resonators.
Resonators. And then this is the Track Edition.
Yeah, this is a hybrid display showing off both systems.
Okay. So he might be the new MJ. I'm going to talk to you then. So nobody can hear you unless I put this in your face.
No,
so tell us again.
Yeah, so right here we've got our C8 hybrid display showing off both our Touring and our Track Edition systems, both for the C8 Stingray. And then here we've got our C6 Touring with our mid-pipes. And then back here we've got our C7 Touring system.
C7 Touring exhaust, again, resonators.
Yeah, 180 Tech drone canceling, comes in chrome silver or diamond black tips. And those C7 and C6 is also come in Track Edition as well.
Okay. So we'll have to probably come back and talk to MJ at some point. I appreciate your time, though. Thank you for taking the time. The big thing here to notice is the C6 exhaust is a fair amount larger than the rest of these because, like, the C7 is only the axle back. This looks like it goes all the way up to the cats. The C8 exhaust, of course, you got mid-engine. There's not a whole lot there that has to happen. But all right, MJ, maybe you're ready for us now.
How you doing?
Thanks for taking the time.
No problem.
So, guys, MJ is the beautiful face of AWE, one of them. Tell us a little bit about AWE.
So, well, we've been doing this since 1991, so it's been many years. Started in the European market, worked our way all the way up into Corvettes and many of other things at this point. We focus hard on pulling drone out. That's our 180 technology, patented technology that we developed in-house. And that's really what we go after to give you that perfect sound, which you're used to.
Well, I am used to it, and it's unfortunate because you guys basically spoiled me for the rest of the world because these exhausts sound great. I always tell everybody, if you want the best sounding, best looking, and the best performing, it ends up being this is the one I keep coming back to. So any questions, Ken? No questions. Okay. So again, diamond black tips, which is what I typically go with, or what's these ones called?
That would be chrome silver.
Chrome silver. So it literally pleases both crowds, which is awesome. You guys literally are knocking it out of the park all the time. All these cars are set up here with AWE, so you can hear these exhausts. If you're not here in person, you'll probably hear them revving in the background. We've already heard a couple of them. But all these C8, C7, and C6, he's got 3 generations of Corvette covered here. And that one right there in the middle does say horsepower obsessed on it. So That's probably the one we're going to focus on because that's the way we work around here. So if you guys don't recognize this car, that's actually his. That's Dana. You guys know Dana from the channel. That's his car. But again, this is kind of my way of bringing Carlisle to you. So if you guys are not able to come to Carlisle, I'm going to bring it to you. So that's where we're at. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap this thing up. Oh, we got a question.
Does AWE have a ceramic coating option?
Does AWE have a ceramic coating option?
We don't offer it. We do have some customers that have done ceramic coating on the tips, and we heard it works out really well. It's not something that we push or do because you can just clean them with soap and water. We also have a product called Tip Tonic, which will help keep the tips restored and keep them from ever having any issues where you need to do that.
If I had to guess, that person meant like a jet hot coating, like something like that. If that's the case, I'm guessing the answer is still no.
Still no. Yeah, ours are, so we do a chrome plating on the chrome first, and even the black ones are chromed first, and then we do the black coating over top.
Okay. So if you guys are interested in a jet hot coating, it's probably the best to buy the exhaust and then ship it to jet hot. That's probably the best way to get it done if you want to do it. It's what I did with my headers. I haven't found a real need for that on the exhausts themselves, but if you're crazy about the heat, I guess you could do it. Honestly, yeah. I don't think you really have to, but, you know, everybody likes their own thing. Any other questions, Ken? Nope. Okay. Well, then we're going to end it here, guys. Smash the thumbs up button if you liked the videos. Subscribe if you haven't yet because I got tons more of these coming. I'm going to be doing 9 of these from Corvettes at Carlisle, so you're not going to want to miss this stuff. And as always, stay obsessed.